Hey everybody, Jim Chester coming to live with George Curry here. We are at Chirofest 2017. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing for the chiropractic world and how you've been serving for so long, man.
Well, listen, as president of the ICA, we're thrilled to be here at this event. Anytime two or more chiropractors are gathering on behalf of the principal, the ICA wants to be there and be involved. We've got, first of all, the profession, as you know, is a fantastic profession. What we do and what we have to give to humanity is unparalleled. The problem is we're hiding our light under a bushel. We need to get out there. We need to tell the world about what it is that what we do, and so that we can share DD and BJ's vision to have chiropractic embraced worldwide. And the statistics that they're sharing here at Paul Reed's seminar. And by the way, I got to tell you, Paul Reed has got a phenomenal program. This is the first time that I've been here. It's been on my hit list to get out to Chiro Fest, and man, it did not disappoint. In fact, it's phenomenal. And if you're out there listening, it means you're missing out being here. You should be here. So put it down on your calendar next year. Get out here. It's a beautiful facility. The people are fantastic. And Jim, you and I were sitting in the audience. We heard this statistic after this statistic, how the United States is sick and suffering and overdrugged, and the infant mortality rates are through the roof. The mortality rates are high. Life expectancy is going down. We're just in crisis mode. And so what are you going to do about it? Anytime someone complains about anything, I always say, what are you going to do about it? What are we collectively as a profession going to do about it? And we have the answer in our hands. To maximize expression of health and wellness and human potential lies in subluxation-free spines. And there's only one person that's going to be able to do that. That's the local chiropractor. So events like these are ways to connect, to get excited, to reignite the passion, and to get tools and technologies and systems that are there, that exist to grow your practice to the extent that you want it to be, so that you can reach your potential as a practicing chiropractor. So I think you can tell I'm just a little excited, right?
Yeah, and the really cool thing that many of you don't know is we actually shared the stage over at Palmer Philosophy Night, and it was really cool to hear you speak, and I actually got a chance to see you speak for the first time, so I was really inspired by you, so thank you so much for doing that.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, and I get out to the campuses, student campuses a lot. The ICA has 8 ICA student chapters at our affiliate colleges, so it's a blast for me to get to the schools. And all of the schools are not the same. We'd like to say that they're all the same. They're not the same. But I do know this, that the schools that are thriving, the schools that are growing, and some of those schools are here at Chirofest. Those schools are the ones that are embracing the chiropractic principle. They're teaching their students how to get out into the world with their degree, and to do what they need to do, which is to locate, analyze subluxations and correct them. If you're attending a school, if you're watching this and you're like, well, they don't teach that at my school, hey, you know what, brother and sister, you're going to the wrong school. You are going to the wrong school. If they're not teaching you what a subluxation is and how to find it and correct it, I would get out post haste. That's what I would do. And if you graduated from a school that didn't teach you, shame on them. But anyway, the principal is alive and well here and at Washington State, and we're thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and that's just the cool thing about being here is there's so many influencers in the audience, just like George here, and there's so much to be learned from the amazing speakers that we have up there, because they're not just talking about rah stuff. They're actually talking about, like you said, statistics, very factual things, not just these antiquated ideas that there's anything going wrong, but really everything is actually going right for chiropractic. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. When you have someone like Deed Harrison, who talks about, they've had 100 papers for chiropractic biophysics that have been published in peer-reviewed journals, 100, and how he could show through his research how instead of shying away from a tool like chiropractic imaging, that we should be embracing it, because there's no other way to monitor and measure and locate a subluxation if you're not having the capability to at least take an x-ray and find it. And yet we hear that there are those within our profession that are trying to put it up on the shelves or go towards the medical model, and we can't stand for it. We won't stand for it. This is our profession. We have guidelines in the ICA that were developed by practicing chiropractors that were peer reviewed and looked at all the studies that were out there. So I want you to know out there in Facebook land that fear not. justice and truth will prevail.
You know, and that's just the really cool thing is I've got a chance to rub shoulders with some greats just like you. I know you've had a great chiropractic career. Do you just want to touch a little bit about how long you've been serving people with your hands?
Yeah, well, I was thrilled to have my 35th reunion just this past at Palmer. So yeah, I graduated 35 years ago, and you know what? I feel like I'm just warming up. You know, I'm just getting going. I feel like a rookie. I've got that same passion, that same excitement, because you know we're in the service industry, and we need to serve. This is a sick society. We need to serve. People are dying literally. You look at the stats when they take the drugs and the opioids and whatever, and everywhere you turn. If you open up a newspaper, you see crisis, you see drama, you see people suffering. They're getting whacked down in Florida with this big storm down in Texas. They were devastated, but chiropractors were on the scene. They were the first responders, taking care of the emergency workers. And they weren't taking care of the emergency workers because they had pains or they had aches, but they needed adjustments to be subluxation free so they could do what they need to do. So as you mentioned, 35 years in practice, I love it. My practice members are like my family, and the family keeps on growing and growing and growing.
And I know you have influence on a lot of practices too, right?
Yeah, I've had been fortunate to. I've been fortunate to, in my career, have been involved with the opening of a number of offices, over 11 offices in the United States, and there's no shortage of places where chiropractors are needed. There, you know, and there's no shortage of patients. There's no shortage of subluxated spines. We got to get busy, and we got to get off our you-know-whats and get to work.
And I know you mentioned to me something really cool earlier. What's next for you, man?
Well, we're going to take a delegation through the ICA, we're proud to announce, and go to mainland China, and we're going to do a 25-city tour. We've got 5 teams that are each going to do 5 different cities, so it's going to be a barnstorming tour to educate the Chinese officials and the government and the people and the business leaders on what chiropractic is. And the bare bones of it is that a spine that's free of nerve interference allows you to reach your optimum potential. That is the essence of chiropractic, and that's what we're going to be talking about in mainland China.
And if you guys aren't excited by that, I don't know what's going to get you fired up. But Dr. George Curry, man, I know you're doing a lot as being the president for this amazing organization and being a torchbearer for the chiropractic profession, man. And, you know, I look forward to having a very prosperous, happy future with you and becoming fast friends and doing what we can to keep Chiro hustling and keep on pushing this forward. And I'm going to have you as a guest on there, right?
Oh, yeah, you bet. And so listen, before we check out, remember, baby, just keep grinding. That's the word of the day, grind it out.
Yeah.
Right, thanks.
So thank you, everybody that's been on a live feed. If you are inclined, please give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts. And if you do feel the need, please share this. And I'm going to be going live for the next couple hours here at Chirofest 2017. And if you didn't make it to 2017, get moving and schedule for 2018. Love and appreciate every single one of you guys out there, and keep shining.